Hey, I'm Vlad with Glow Marble, and epoxy flake floors take about 2 days after all the preparation to apply the floor. We found a way to do it only in one by entirely cutting the epoxy out of the equation. Instead, today we're going to be using only polyaspartic. Our product is GP20, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Basically what you do is you pigment the first layer of polyaspartic and you lay it onto the floor, throw your flakes. Yesterday I was actually able to come back from a sample and lay the second coat of polyaspartic 1 hour after the first one. But granted, it's summer right now, so the heat does make the polyaspartic set a lot quicker right now, so it might be around like 2 to 3 hours in the winter, but I don't know because I haven't tested that. Obviously, the first thing that needs to be done is the floor needs to be prepped. It needs to be grinded completely so that all the dirt and grime and grease is completely removed from the floor, and that's basically the best way to clean it. And then afterwards, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna fill in any type of crack, any type of divot in the floor, because that will be noticeable in the final product. So we're gonna be using our epoxy glide rollers. They're made specifically for things that are sticky, like epoxy, sealers, glues. This is the best product that you could use, not just a regular paint roller, because those are gonna leave a lot of hairs and fibers inside of your mix. But you should still defuzz your rollers, so you should take some blue painter's tape, roll it out, and you're good to go. Like I said, it's a 2-part A to 1-part B ratio. I'm gonna be using this damaged container that we got returned to us. So I'm putting in 28 ounces part A. And 14 ounces of part B. But before I want to mix these together, I want to use my pigment. You have to decide which color pigment that you're using based on the color of the flakes that you're going to be using, right? So the color of flakes I'm using is buckskin, and I have a choice of whether to use white pigment for the base coat or brown pigment. So I'm going with the camel, and I calculated that I need about 2 ounces for this mix I'm doing. So I'm gonna mix that in to the part A. I'm gonna add my part B, and I'm gonna mix it for 3 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and spill out the polyaspartic. I'm using a sample board right now. I'm not doing it on the actual concrete floor. Didn't have the chance to do that, but a hardy backer board is basically the closest thing I can come to an actual concrete floor. I made way too much. Yeah guys, I made way too much. I'm gonna put the coverage amount on your screen right now so you don't make the same mistake that I just did. It's okay, it was a damaged product anyways. Now you go ahead and you start back rolling it from side to side to make sure that you completely remove any type of roller marks and get a completely even coverage on the entire surface. So first horizontal, then vertical, repeat it one more time, and you're good to start throwing your flakes. I'll show you how to do that in a second. So now when your polyaspartic is completely rolled on, what you want to do is you want to take your flakes bag, open it up, and you don't want to throw it directly onto the floor, you want to throw it up into the air as if you're feeding chickens, right? So this is the best method to get a complete distribution. Make sure there's not too many of those flakes kind of sticking up vertically. It's 9:50, Friday, July 16th, and let's see how long it's gonna take for me to be able to scrape everything off and walk on it, do the second coat. So here's a little update. It's 20 minutes from last time I showed you my phone, and if we look at it, I'm pushing on there with all my force and it's still taking off. I'm not comfortable with it, but for it to get this much progress in 20 minutes, that epoxy just can't beat that. By the way, what do you guys think about our Halloween costumes? What do you think? Tell me in the comments below. Next update, 10 minutes before, after last update, and a total of 30 minutes after we applied this. And look at that. That is basically ready to be walked on. And nothing. It's just the dirt off my boots. I covered a small sample when I was done with this stuff, and you can see that it's still pliable and it's not completely hardened, but it's really not taken as much of a beating as you think it would after 30 minutes. So at this point, we're basically ready to start scraping off the flakes, vacuuming the floor, making sure that most of these excess flakes are gone. The vacuum's not gonna take all of it away, it's not gonna get rid of everything, but that's okay. We need most of it gone. If there's still a little bit left on your roller when you're rolling on your clear coat, that's nothing to worry about. And now it's time to start mixing up our clear coat. I'm gonna mix a lot less than last time. And what's crazy is when I was eyeballing it, I was like, should I make a little bit more? I don't think this is gonna be enough. And it turned out to be way too much. So I'm only gonna mix up 24 ounces, which means 8 ounces of part B. And 16 ounces part A. And now the same method applies to putting on our top coat. Take your mixed up polyaspartic, you spill it out. And you back roll the entire thing to make sure that there's no streaking and no roller marks. Now you could apply 2 coats, but I'm only doing 1. I'll catch you guys in about an hour to show you guys what the finished product looks like in some better sunlight. So at this point the polyaspartic has cured, but before I show you the finished product, I want to ask you a question about which one of these colors do you guys like the most? Because I was originally thinking of doing Cosmos. I like this one the most. How about you guys? Here are what the flakes look like up close, from a distance. So you've made it to the end of my video, but now I want to ask you for a quick favor. See, the YouTube algorithm gets tricked into showing my video to a lot more people if a lot of people comment on it. So criticize me, praise me, or just ask a question. As long as you leave a comment, I'm gonna appreciate it a lot. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.